I just got my... How are you guys? Hi. Oh my gosh. I almost forgot my notes. Welcome. This is Chala, CEO and founder of The Repositioning Expert. I am here with Tea Time with Chala, Tuesday Tea Time with Chala. And it's a beautiful day. So I'm doing this a little bit early and I'm literally gonna run away and go walking on the path with a neighbor, and it's like 15 degrees outside. So listen, we're in Toronto. This is amazing news for us, amazing news for me. My birthday's on May 1st, so I'm gonna be 52, and I've booked another fitness photo session. So I'm really trying to get like 7,000 steps a day. And I don't have a pedometer, so that's really hard to gauge. Maybe I should get one. I don't know. And so I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to increase my weights. I've been trying to buy these adjustable weights, and they're literally like $300+. It's crazy how much they are, like a pair of them. But I'm thinking of investing in one because I keep like increasing my strength. I'm trying to increase. So we'll see how it works, because it really doesn't matter how much strength you have. It doesn't matter how many muscles you have. From what I've experienced, if there's fat covering it, it really, doesn't really matter for a photo shoot, not for living. Like for life, you're fine if you don't have a vanity project. Like I keep booking myself into these vanity projects because it really motivates me. I mean, I do 2 or 3 photo shoots, fitness photo shoots, and I incorporate them into my personal, like my marketing for my company, so that we can put it into my content, so that we can take more shots and we can put it into my content. So that's what I'm actually going to talk to you about today. We're going to talk about content marketing. And what content marketing is what you publish on all the social media and what you email to people, how you touch your prospects with your message, whether through something what they're reading through their eyes, something they're listening to, something they're watching, or whatever format that you can reach out to them. A content needs to be your opinion or some form of written or spoken word information that contains something to help them. That's what content marketing is to put your advice in front of people who need it so that they can hire you, because they think, wow, if this person knows this much about this topic, I'm going to hire them so that they can help me one-on-one and customize a program for me. And content marketing can take the form of education, of webinars, of live streams, of executive roundtables, but it can also very simply take the form of interviews and podcasts and just blog posts or articles or like interview marketing or books. It could even be books. So I have the latest and greatest of the research about content marketing. So what's interesting is 70% of marketers are actively investing in content marketing. So this whole notion of thought leadership, and I've been reading some articles about, these Tuesday Tea Time with Chalas are great for one thing. It's that it forces me to read a lot of news about what's happening in the world of marketing. And one of the most recent things that I read yesterday, articles that I read yesterday and doing research for this topic today, was the whole notion of how thought leadership, the word thought leadership was sort of discovered, announced, or coined in 1970 by an author, a marketing author, and it's been beaten to death. And people who have like zero expertise are claiming some form of thought leadership. In fact, the author of the scathing article talked about how he Googled thought leaders or he searched it on LinkedIn, and how like millions of people had it somewhere in their bio, and it was so meaningless because everybody was claiming to be a thought leader. But in my book, what thought leader is somebody who is consistently putting out messaging and content around the same problem and how to solve it to the same people. So that's what a super niche is based on, is your thought leadership and your content marketing around that thought leadership. So this is what's really, really great, that 70% of marketers are aware of that, because that's almost everybody is aware that content marketing has to be invested on. And for those of you who are avoiding it or who are doing it once in a while, I'm going to tell you some more things that are going to wake you up, because if you're not in their inbox, if you're not in their mind, if you're not in their sight line, and if you're not in their ears, you're never going to be in their brain. And if it's too sporadic, it's not going to help you. So consistency. So 70% is really the marketers are actively investing. Total sales is the number one way that these marketers are talking about the ROI. So anytime anybody asks you, is it working? It's already because they've got sales coming from it. You already know that. What's really interesting, I'm going to tell you here is, I'm going to talk about video later. One of my clients is in the video space, so I hope you're watching this, you guys. But before I get there, I'm going to talk about blogs. So blogs are articles, basically, and you can do it in any format. Blogs started off as kind of like the diary format, but I do it in a weekly article format. I repurpose them into my LinkedIn. I repurpose them into anywhere and everywhere that I can. We cut them up, we chop them up, and we make them quotes. We put pretty pictures with them. We make them, social media posts. We take our books, we take my books, and we chop them up into blogs. So blogs are just articles of advice, of what you're writing for advice. So here's some interesting facts about blog content. What they call blog content is 83% of traffic to marketing blogs comes still from desktops, not mobile. So that's very interesting. So that tells you that people are sitting in their offices when they're looking at this. And companies that blog have, I'm so happy, to tell my clients how to do this. In fact, maybe I'm going to give them a backlink to this video. Companies that blog have 55% more website visitors, 67% more monthly leads, you guys, 97% more inbound leads, and then 434% more indexed pages. So I'm going to just let you think about that for a minute. Everything that you do is to get new clients if you're doing marketing. And if you're doing marketing without reaching out to people, and they're just reading your content or they're listening to you on a podcast and they're reaching out to you, isn't that amazing? And the written format is mostly being consumed in people's offices or desktops, so they're not on the go. This is something that they're literally sitting down to listen to or to read, and most of them are picking up the phone or writing an email and telling you to call them and to talk to them and reaching out to you. You can't lose, you guys. Why would there be such a tool, a valuable tool that you wouldn't be using as blog content? Okay. 80% of internet users interact with both social media sites and blogs, right? So then why not repurpose? Why not use them both? And then marketers who prioritized blogging gained 13% more ROI than companies that did not. So if you are on the lazy blogging track, you're letting go of a ton of ROI. I don't know how else to say it. And then 88% of marketers use visuals in more than 50% of their blogs. So one of the things that I teach is if you're using visuals in anything, whether it's in your website, whether it's in your blogs, whether it's in your social media posts, it could even be on your displays, in-store displays like we used to do when I used to work for a pen company and we used to make the displays for Staples. It has to be human emotion. Whenever we used to test, when I used to work for Pepsi, Pizza Hut, Frito-Lay, and we tested image for advertising or for any form of communication, images of humans and human emotion would far outweigh liking, preference, recall, awareness, and purchase intent versus inanimate objects. So stop using inanimate objects as your, picture to tell the story or to help you tell the story in a blog. So always, always, always go for, and you can Google this, and there are lots and lots of really creative photo websites that are free for use. Or what I do is I think I pay $10 a month for 10 pictures a month from a company called Shutterstock, but there are so many stock company, and I'm sure there's even much better rates, but then I'm able to Google or search within Shutterstock the topic that I'm looking for, and I have, my brand voice is irreverent and funny, so I always put the word funny next to whatever I'm looking for. So if I'm looking for example, this week's topic is always based on my Tuesday tea time because I've already done the research, so it's going to be around content strategy. So, and I always give it a very interesting blog title, something like, are you a lazy blogger, or are you letting blogs steal money from, your pocket, or not doing blogs stealing from you? Whatever the catchy title is, then I'm going to look for a related human emotion picture that relates to it. So always, always, always use 80% of marketers use images in more than half of their blogs. So then let's talk about video. These are for my clients who do the video. Video is the #1 form of media used in content strategies, and 55% of shoppers say they use online video while actually shopping in a store, which is crazy. And then 250 million hours per day globally are watched on YouTube, on TV screen tops. It's crazy. And 68% of viewers watch a business video until the end of the video if it's 60 seconds or less. So make your videos short. And 66% of consumers prefer watching a video than reading about a product. So if you're selling products, keep that in mind. And business video content, believe it or not, for whatever reason, is mostly consumed on Thursdays. So put that into your thinking cap about when you're going to be sending out video. Now let's talk about the other big trend, which I have fully immersed myself in, which is podcasts. Podcast is another form of content. So let's talk about podcast content. The US podcast, and I'm in Canada, but I participate also in the US podcast market. The US podcast advertising revenues are projected to surpass $1 billion by the end of this year, 2021. And podcasts now reach over 100 million Americans every month. And 82% of people listen to podcasts for more than 7 hours per week. So for those of you who are still resisting me, my clients who are resisting, there are certain people in certain industries who would rather be shot than either be on a podcast or have a podcast. And if you're in that camp, and if you're still thinking it's so fringe, it's still too marginal, it is still too old, well, then 82% of people listen to podcasts for more than 7 hours a week. So I want you to say that. So 48% of people, almost half, say they listen to podcasts more compared to a year ago. Of course, it's the pandemic, everyone's home. And then half of those, 55% of people, purchased an item advertised in a podcast, and I'm guilty, do this all the time. I listen to podcasts around fitness, around food, around everything, around, obviously around what I do, but around marketing, around sales, around business tools. And then the last one that I'm going to tell you is 59% of American podcast consumers are women. So half the population are women and half the population are consuming it. So those are my content marketing statistics for you on the study. And if this does nothing for you but to remind you that you need to be blogging, you need to be doing video, you need to be doing podcasts, you need to be out there. People are consuming it, they're converting, and the companies that are doing them are converting at a higher ROI than those who aren't. So you take your pick, you make your choice, and get out there and do it. And whatever's stopping you, hire whatever kind of coach you need to get you over that. If you don't know what to write about, if you don't know what the content needs to be, then talk to me, because that's the number one way that we make people into thought leaders. We carve out a super niche for them. Pretty soon, I think next week, I'm going to be telling you about a new training that I'm doing. On May 13th. May is a good month for me because it's my birthday month. And I think I'll still be like 70 years old and I'll still be saying, it's my birthday. I'll still be so happy about it. So I want you to keep in mind, it's not a new training. It's still my lead gen masterclass, how to leverage your elevator pitch. And I'll be polishing elevator pitches like nobody's business. So that's what we'll be doing. And keep your eyes out for that registration link. It's going to go live next week. And in the meantime, go out there and enjoy the weather. I hope it stays warm. Have a good one, everyone. Take care.